We can play Bonk's Revenge, the second Bonk game. Let's see if this one's better. I've never played this. That's what's so interesting about this system is I have not played almost every one of these games. So it's just kind of like picking something. Like yesterday, I just kind of picked a bunch of games. I was like, well, that cover looks kind of cool. Let's see what happens. First M-rated game when you were 10. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah. I mean, my parents never questioned. I can't think of a single game my parents ever questioned. Yeah, I can't. Even like stuff like Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. Well, first off, I didn't like fighting games, so it didn't really matter to me all that much. But I don't know. My parents would have bought it for me. Yeah, they didn't really care. Um, I don't know. And I was never someone who was gonna be like, "Oh, I played Mortal Kombat, so now I'm gonna go outside and punch someone and try to like do a fatality on them." So, you know, I don't know. That seems like a parenting problem if your kid thinks, "Oh, Bonk's real. I can headbutt people." All right, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, yeah, right. Like I don't know. I wasn't good at Mortal Kombat either. I never owned it, but there was this kid. There's this kid Dave in my neighborhood who had it. Because his parents could have cared less too. His parents cared less even more than mine did, looking back. But uh, he had it, and I'd play it, and the same thing would happen like with all fighting games. I'd play it for like 10 minutes, and I'd not be good at it, and I'd be like, okay, whatever, I am not investing the time in getting good at this. It's like the Dark Souls thing, man, you just gotta get good. Or whatever, and I don't know. I don't have the attention span for that, I suppose. So, yeah, right. If your kid like takes the message of a game as like, "Oh, I should go out and like hit people." I don't know. That seems like a parenting problem, not a video game problem. I mean, I was a weird kid with a lot of problems, but I don't know. Thinking video games were real wasn't one of them. Okay, so this is kind of like the first one so far. I like how colorful it is. Oh, what's up there? Yeah, real Mario vibe for sure. Yeah, well, it was like when everybody started freaking out about like Grand Theft Auto and stuff like that, and it's like, man, I don't know. That seems like a parenting problem if your kid thinks that like, oh, I can really go out and like fight people. I think the problem in my generation was that, like, which is probably not a problem more for your generation and younger people, is that, like, parents were like, and I don't mean like age wise, but like they were all like really old when I grew up. Like everybody, they were all very like adult and mature, and so video games was like this thing that like most people's parents didn't play. I mean, it's not like now where like, you know, like all my, I was just talking to one of my friends. She plays Animal Crossing with her kids all the time. I mean, look at my mom even, late in life. But like when I was growing, I mean, even my mom never played until friggin' Animal Crossing. And my dad only really played. We had a Coleco before the NES. But I don't know. He wasn't really like a gamer. And the only games I ever remember him playing on the NES were Duck Hunt and maybe like, hey, why are you trying to eat me? Maybe like a sports game. Oh, thank you. Yes. Yes, she would have been very happy with the new Animal Crossing game. The stuff they're doing in it is like would have been like extremely her thing. Yeah, it's funny when they delayed it last year. She actually texted me and she's like, "I'm gonna be dead before this damn game comes out," and it turned out to be right. Whoa, what's going on here? Her, um, I have access to her Switch profile, and there's some interesting facts in there. She put 660 hours into Stardew Valley, which is kind of incredible. I've only put like 150. She put 95 hours into Link's Awakening, and she beat it. Which is, I think that's the only game she ever. I mean, I guess you beat like Stardew and stuff like that. Like there are ways that, like technically, the new Animal Crossing game, I've quote unquote beaten it. By whatever, like technically, but she beat Link's Awakening. She put like 50 hours into Mario Kart, which she mostly was. I remember she was telling me she's playing it online a lot, which is interesting. And the other game that she'd been playing a lot on Switch in recent time was Captain Toad, whatever the Toad Tracker, whatever it's called. She'd been playing that too. Yeah, well, I have her as my friend, so I can view it. But yeah, her Switch is at my at the house. So whenever all of this ends, dot dot dot, I'm gonna go pick up all that stuff. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, yeah. Spam them, spam them. Yeah, hopefully I can do that soon because I think it's kind of bumming my dad out to have that stuff all like sitting around. go. Alright, so now it's gonna go on the other side. Oh, wait. Did I beat him? Oh, I beat him. Okay. Mostly tough to deal with that way things are. Sure. Yeah. I mean, you know, there's a lot going on. I mean, so she died on the 10th of March. So we were in the hospital on the 9th. She had the stroke on the 8th. So on the 9th, we were at the hospital. And as the day went on, just like observing nurses, doctors, just listening to them talk, it was really clear that the shit was going to hit the fan pretty soon. So I drove home that night because they pulled her off the ventilator and they were basically like, well, she's going to expire at some point, you know. So, all right, well, I'm not going to sit here and stare at her, you know, it's horrible. And I drove home that night and she died sometime overnight. But it was very clear that, yeah, everything was going to start shutting down. And so I was out of work all that week. My dean talked me into taking the whole week off. And as the week went on, it was very clear that we weren't coming back after that. I just turned on my Siri somehow. It was very clear we weren't coming back. So, okay, stop doing that. It was very clear we weren't... No, what are you doing? Oh my god. What am I saying that's making you turn on? Jeez. And we didn't. So, yeah, I mean, it's that, and the Tara Reid stuff hasn't been great as a survivor. Being told I'm having a temper tantrum because I don't want to vote for a sexual predator has not been ideal. And then as a survivor of police violence also, the last few days have not been ideal, let's say. So, yeah, not spectacular, for sure, but, yeah, I mean, but on the other hand, like, what are you gonna do? I mean, life goes on, it's, yeah, you can't just, like, kind of sit around and wallow in it, either. I mean, you most certainly can. Let's try intermediate. Oh, so it takes you back to this level. Okay, interesting. So then it gives you 4 stages. I mean, yeah, I mean, sure, yes, you can wallow in it. You very much can, but I don't know. Not really my style, and it's certainly not what she would want. So, I mean, I know that sounds like cliche and stupid, because it is cliche and stupid, but, like, you know, she would absolutely not want people, like, woe is meing about her and whatnot. Yeah, it ain't glamorous right now. No, it certainly isn't. That is very, very true. This is not great. I mean, it's been great for my Animal Crossing island. Oh, whoops. I just figured out today that... Oh, I see. The intermediate gives you less hearts. Interesting. Okay. Check those dudes out. So you got a net and like a Panama Jack hat, and then I don't know what kind of sheet that's supposed to be. I don't want to make any judgments right now, but sure, what exactly is going on there? Huh. And this dude's just kind of chilling. They're all sleeping on the job. Hanging out. Wow, the star, or... Well, it's not a star, but whatever. $695. Holy shit. I saw somebody the other day on Greg Seward's stream. There was somebody, they had like 300 something, and I was just like, wow. I have like 85, I want to say 90 maybe, and there's still a remarkable amount of stuff to do. They've set this game up for the long haul, which is cool. Because New Leaf is great, but New Leaf can get like kind of boring after a while. But they're gonna keep adding content, I think, for a while. You know, like it was like Fortnite or something. And so... Okay, these things gotta get away from me. I just figured out... I keep pausing, but whatever. I just figured out that on my top level of my island, I can make it higher up. So with the builder set thing that they give you, you can, make it even higher up and build like cliffs that like you could put like a house up there or something. I was trying to do something with that this morning, and that'll be... I'll put some hours into screwing around with that. But yeah, I'm having a blast. I play it every morning. I've been playing before breakfast for like, I don't know, half hour, something like that. Alright, I'm gonna go up here and get some parts. And yeah, there we go. I like how when he's pissed, he gets the, yeah, check him out. This dude's awesome. I wish the first game wasn't so hard. That, like, totally sucked. How hard that got. I'll just have to get good and whatnot. I actually bought Dark Souls 3 because it was on sale in the PlayStation Store, and I can't even beat that first boss. That first boss that they have, I can't even beat it. And it's like, I've been playing video games for 35 years, and I can't beat this boss. And if you go online, it's like, oh, well, go get good. And I'm like, this is the dumbest game. And it's too bad because, like, the vibe of it and all and the aesthetics are really cool looking. But, like, the fan base for it are just, like, a bunch of dorks that are like, oh, go, man. Like, I've even seen, like, people who are usually, like, pretty reasonable people that aren't, like that, talk like that, and it's just like, you know, you sound like such a nerd right now. You know, talking like that. Code Vein, anime Dark Souls. Oh, very cool. Yeah, well, I mean, Dragon's Dogma is kind of a Dark Souls-ish game. Kind of. If they make a second one, which I think we're pretty much at a point where I think they are working on a second Dragon's Dogma game. Because Capcom's announced that they have a couple new things coming out, and I have a pretty good feeling that's going to be one of them. I bet it's very Dark Soulsy. The other one too is that I think is actually more playable is Bloodborne, and I got like an hour into that and then just kind of got stuck in it. But man, the vibe of it and how it's like kind of like it's like kind of Castlevania-ish and all is like really cool. I just wish that yeah, like it didn't have that like, oh, well, you just gotta get good, man, thing to it, because I would dump a ton of time into it if I knew I could actually like advance in it and not you know. Namifa, hey man, do you think there'll be another port of Dragon's Dogma? The 3DS doesn't have a version. Yeah, yeah, I gotta get that on the friggin' Coleco and the Amiga and you know, Apple II, Commodore. Do a text adventure version. Whoa, what are these things? Oh, that's the boss. Okay. Oh. Am I enjoying the TurboGrafx Mini? Yes. Um, I said this earlier. I think this is the best put together one of these. I like the design of it. Um, I think they've really studied the mistakes that these other minis made. They make it very easy to get into the menus. All you got to do is hit select and run, and it takes you right into them. There's no like what weird, like there was in you know, like on the NES Mini and stuff like that. Um, the cord is like, oh man, it's a couple feet long at least. Like remember how the Nintendo ones, they were like really short cords. This one's really, really long. And I think the menus and whatnot, I think it's like pretty cool looking. Just in general. Alright, what am I doing here? Can I go down? Oh, I died. The Genesis one's pretty good. I like it. Alright, how do I get up here? Oh, that's how you get up here. Okay. Oh, okay, I see. I see. Okay. I get it. The Genesis one, I think is pretty good. I like the controllers. The molds for them are really solid. The only problem with the Genesis one is there's some input issues that I think are fixable if you hack it. But on the menus, and I think in a couple games too, like there's like, it'll double click on you sometimes. I know it definitely does it in the menus. Yeah, oh yeah, this one is just... Yeah, it's real snappy. Yeah, I'm pretty... As someone who, like, never really played the TurboGrafx much back then, I'm very impressed with this. And Sarah and I have already kind of run into a couple of games that... where we're like, oh wow, this is a cool game. Never seen this before. One of them, what was that? Legend of Valkyrie? Was, like is Japanese only. It was like a, it's like a, like, oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, you gotta go up. Alright. It's like, it reminded me of, like, Zelda, Rygar, Crystallis, Crusader Ascenti, Beyond Oasis, like games like that. Oh, okay, you can headbutt them. Got it. Oh, whoa, whoa, ah! Oh my god. But, yeah, Legend of Valkyrie, but it was, Japanese only, so it was kind of, like, hard to make heads or tails of what we were doing. I'm sure somebody did an English translation of a ROM at some point. Ah, crap. Yeah, Rygar is another one we gotta, now that that's on the NES thing on the, oh, geez, on the Switch. We gotta, play that. Rygar is the game, the kid in my neighborhood who beat it, his mother was real big on, like in the 80s, she was real big on, like, what they refer to now as screen time. And so you only got to play the NES for a certain amount of time every day. And this kid was, like, really good. So it was kind of a bummer. And again, like, I don't know, my parents could have cared less. And I grew up to be, like, a tenured faculty member, and I played Nintendo all day. So take that. And he got through a whole ton of Rygar, and eventually it was like, oh, you can't play anymore today. And so what he did, and his dad actually got in on it too with us, was he just left the game on all night. And they kind of like put a, I don't know what I'm doing right here. They put like a towel over it, and she never even noticed. And then the next day I came over and we just picked it up, and he ended up, he finished it. But Yeah, she's real, yeah, like, real, I don't know. I don't know, as someone who's, like, teaching online right now, I think it's, like, a mistake to not let your kids have, like, screen time because, you know, they're gonna be taking your classes online, now more than ever, let's say. So kind of making sure they know, like, what's going on there. I think it's gonna be, I don't know, a little important, probably. I mean, I can't say for certain what the fall's gonna be like, but, you know, we'll see. There's somebody in my life, too, their kid got, yeah, damn if it, yeah, tortured the system, right. Yeah, we weren't thinking, we were like 9 years old, so we weren't thinking about, we weren't thinking, oh yeah, it's probably not a good thing to leave that on for 24 hours. Yeah, nobody was really thinking about that. Okay, so, alright, we gotta go down. Fine. Come on, come on, come on. Ah! Oh man, I just head bopped an axe. Dude. Okay, I can't get out of there. Yeah, I definitely headbutted that axe. Yeah, that was crazy. This is like a Super Mario World. Boing, boing. Oh, interesting. Okay, how am I supposed to jump around that? I guess you're supposed to just go under it. No. Yeah, because you can't make it. Okay, I just lost all my hearts because of that. Yeah, I don't know. There's some stuff in this game that's like in these, like in the first one too. It's like not great. Yeah, see, it just headbutted again. He's kind of slow to react sometimes too. Like his headbutt's kind of slow. Oh, okay, they all fall out. Okay, got it. So you gotta go. Okay. Good, there's no timer. Yeah, not the greatest reputation. Yeah, it's... I don't know. There's like some neat stuff in it. Like, I think it's cool that... Like, it seems like it's very influenced by Super Mario 2. I think is something they were probably thinking about. But, yeah, it's... Hit detection's not fantastic. But, you know, Bonk was supposed to be their Mario or Sonic. Yeah, oh jeez, those things come out of nowhere. I think my main problem with this game is, and the first one as well, is that it's trying, let me see if I can say this right. It's trying to be, yeah, see, like, that's, like, I'm hitting them, and I'm not getting anything to it. It's trying to be like a console game. Like, it's very clear what its influences are. Yeah, geez, this is, like, not great. Which I think are, like, yeah, Mario. But it's also... Like, I think it thinks... Okay, yeah, why does that guy hit you? That's stupid. Like, it also... And see if you've ever heard the Giraffe podcast say this before, but it feels like it's also trying to be an arcade game at the same time, and that... With, like, some of the, like, the cheapness... Yeah, it is better than JJ and Jeff. This is true. With some of the, like, the kind of cheapness, and, like, Sarah was talking about in the first game, like, those frogs that just, like, wipe out your hearts. Like, that's arcade game garbage. It's not, you know, okay, how do I hit those things? And then I bounce back onto spikes that kill me. Yeah, this isn't, Starting to see why nobody... Yeah, so you kill the enemy, rightfully, and it knocks you onto the spikes, which punish you for doing what... Yeah, see, like, right there. For doing what it seems like you should be doing. Yeah. And not to sound like our Sonic episode, but... Mario never made me do that. But yeah, I think that's what the problem really is. It's trying... Yeah, it's trying to be like, oh, hey, we're a console game, but oh, here's all these, like, cheap arcade game mechanics. And, oh, you only have 3 continues. And I get it that it's a reaction to the rental market, too, but, like, I'm sorry, but that was, like, that era's version of, like, the Dark Souls stuff. Like, well, too bad. Because, you know, the thing with the rentals is, yeah, like, I get why you don't want me to beat it in a weekend, but it's also... Yeah, I know. Yeah, can you make it? Yep. I get that you want people to spend the money on your game, but, that was also how a lot of game companies got really bad reputations. I always thought as, like, just making, like, really terrible games. And the ones that had good like you'd see a game in a store and you go, oh, I gotta get that, like Konami and Capcom and Ultra. Grab items, jump, and spin. Yeah, you only had 5 days to beat the game, yeah. No guides, no game facts. Just kind of hoping for the best. And oh, maybe the person who rented, you know, the RPG before you left you at the end of the game. That was always fun. Where it's like, oh, I can go beat the game already. Can we go up higher? Oh, okay. There's something up there. But there were a lot of companies that just got, like, horrific reputations because you'd rent something and, you know, 5 minutes later you'd be like, alright, well, that was terrible. Let's try to get back up there. Is Gamefly, like, still a thing? I had a Gamefly account for, like, a year, but I don't know. I didn't really use it much. Gonna run under everybody here. Ah! Crap. Oh, Gamefly is still around. That's surprising. Yeah, I don't want to be famous. Sorry. No thanks. I can tell you, as someone with a decent-sized Twitter following, it's obnoxious after a certain point. I kind of have grown to, like, resent it. I have a tweet that's, like, currently blowing up, and when I get off of here, I gotta mute it, because dumb people are replying to it. Oh, we gotta get up there, okay, I see. There we go. Alright, we got farther than we were. Was it a political tweet? Yeah, sort of. I had one really blow up the other day, because a friend of mine who's got like 20,000 followers retweeted it, and my mentions were very annoying for the next like 12 hours. Yeah, that at a certain point, that just doesn't feel good anymore. Oh, we beat it. Cool. Snow Mountain. Okay. Did I die? Oh, I died. Oh, okay. Yeah, so at the end of levels, they don't give you back your hearts, which is, like, kind of a dick move, I gotta say. Is he really chewing on that? That's so weird. Yeah, ranting into void. Yeah, oh, absolutely. You know, and with political stuff now, half the people who reply to you when something blows up are just bots. Um, and I have the quality filter thing turned on, which is a good call. Everybody should turn that on. And like a lot of times I just won't see like half the responses because good, bad, or ugly, they're from like what Twitter likes to refer to as low quality tweeters. There we go. Oh man, Bonk just slid on his head. He's gonna have some really bad CTE when he's older. Alright, I have no idea what's happening right now, so I'm just gonna keep running. But yeah, like the one that I had blow up the other day, I mean, so many of the responses are just, yeah, they're just all bots. And with the quality filters turned on, you don't even see it. Unless you actually go in and like, look at it. Or you're in TweetDeck, you can actually see it. And my rule I adapted from a friend a couple years ago is anything that gets more than 100 likes, I mute. Because after 100 likes, nothing good happens, basically. So you can't really run and bonk very well, I'm noticing. Ah! That's awesome. Yeah, most of mine that blow up these days are either like dunking on shitheads or political stuff. Oh, okay, check that out. You can hold it down, and then you just kind of float over. That's interesting. Oh wait, where are you supposed to? Are you supposed to bash this looking Strider? No, peak Twitter fame is when you get screen grabbed on like MSNBC or whatever, like one of my friends just did a couple weeks ago. I do not. I just did an episode about Strider. I hate that game. On the NES, it is like hot garbage. And the Genesis one, that's like the arcade one, it's one of those games that you play for like 3 minutes and you die and you're like, all right, well, now what? But it won Game of the Year for Electronic Gaming Monthly in 1990. Yeah, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing because the exits, it's up there. Yeah, the NES one. Yeah, just got. Oh, okay. Yeah, you go up there. Okay, I see. And of course, I always kind of go into episodes like that thinking, well, oh shit. Okay, you gotta perfectly jump. There we go. Well, that wasn't perfect, but. That was about as good as this silly game is gonna get. Alright, that's the way up. I got it. Oh, yeah, Strider is totally a product of its time. I mean, in the arcade, yeah, I'm sure it was cool, but... Like, it's on the Genesis Mini, and I booted it up, and yeah, like 3 minutes later, I got a game over screen, and I'm like, okay, well... I don't know. What's going on with this game? And people, swear by it. Ah, come on, come on, come on, go! Yes! Alright. Oh, I got the chicken. Wait, why can't I get in it? Oh. The NES one is nothing like the arcade game. First off, it's a completely different game. It's like an action RPG. Oh, game over. Oh, rats. Yeah, yeah, that sounds about right. The NES one is